Welcome back.
Thank you.
Welcome back, April. How was lunch?
I was talking too much. I didn't get a chance to eat.
I'm sorry, T, you were talking to your students doing what?
Oh no, I was just talking to other people trying to figure stuff out, so I didn't get to eat much.
Oh, okay.
uh, they're doing a drive-through meet and greet for families that have multiple students. So I feel like some of the teachers are not, or they're going to be up on the playground, which is why there's.
Oh, okay. So there's a conflict with the schedule.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. I guess I'll give it. Can you hear me clear?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll give it a couple more minutes because I know people went out for lunch as well, and I guess it just depends upon how many people show back up. Uh, I'll just kind of dictate what we do.
Okay.
But
Sounds good. It's been helpful. Thank you.
I'm glad I can help.
Thanks.
Welcome back. Welcome back those who've joined. I'm gonna give it about 3 to 4 more minutes and we'll get started. I know some people may be coming in late from lunch. Just wanna make sure everybody's hearing me clearly. Can you hear me? There we go. Can you hear me clearly now? Are you able to hear me?
I can hear you.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I thought I was.
I gave my thumbs up, but I didn't know if you saw that.
Okay. No, your video is not showing from right here. Is your video off?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm shy.
Are you saying in the chat you gave your thumbs up? Okay. That's what you're
Yeah,
saying.
sorry.
Okay.
I think
You cut off there.
I don't know if anyone else is.
I hear you now. I didn't hear you for a second. You went out for on my end.
There was a scheduling conflict with the meet and greet, so I think people are trying to clarify what's supposed to be going on.
Okay. I guess my thing is I don't want to hold. I mean, you're. I don't want to make those who are at the party wait. You know, that's the only thing. You know, so just tell me what you think I should do. If you feel like I should just go ahead and get started, or you want me just give it a couple? Should I give it a couple more minutes so they figure that out?
I'm happy to start. I don't know if Margaret or Min is there. Tessa's trying to figure out where she should be.
Okay. Let's do this then. All right, let me give them about, I guess, 3 more minutes, then I'll get started if they're not. And depending upon how many people join as I'm going on, then I may kind of just cut it short then because I don't want to, I guess, hold you for the entire, unless you want me to, I can go to 5. Well, not 5 to 2 technically on your time, but I can do that. But if I can find some ways to cut the time down since there's a conflict, I will.
Yeah, what's on the outline for this section?
So this section is going to just cover, one thing I want to talk about is screen imitation. There's one thing I didn't really cover in the first. And then I was going to highlight, okay, how can you use the MimioView for like instructional videos or asynchronous lessons, as in not live lessons, which you can incorporate into your live lesson as a part of it, but doing that with the MimioView. So I have Sophia about to join now. So I was just going to go over that, the ins and outs of doing that. And then the last part of it was really going to be a creation aspect to it. So depending upon the numbers, I'm thinking I can go through, okay, how do you create? And if we don't have a lot of people joining because of the conflict, I would skip the last piece of creation and just answer questions and cut it short from there if it's if the numbers are not up. How's that sound?
Sounds good for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the video would be helpful because for our science curriculum, we are going to be doing mystery science, which involves videos.
Yes.
Along with that, so.
Gotcha. And this is being recorded as well. So I guess for those who have the conflict, we could potentially, they could get the recording. The only thing is I don't like ending, the meeting before time because I want, your school to get their money's worth. So they're paying for this. So that's my only thing. But we'll figure it out once we get to that point. So at about 4:12, I'll just go ahead and begin.
Thank
That
you.
sounds good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hey, Marcus, did you hear why nobody's there?
Yes, I did. So I've come up with a game plan, and we're gonna kind of adjust it a little bit for the numbers.
Oh, perfect. Appreciate your flexibility. Yeah.
Oh, no problem.
Well, if you guys just see whatever Marcus is willing to help you with, and if you have questions and stuff, that's probably a great time for it. So, thank you.
I wouldn't ask Barbara. That's Barbara talking.
That's Barbara.
Yeah, I was trying to figure it out. I thought it was her, but I was trying to make sure, but I couldn't.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because you have the camera on. I apologize.
Yeah, that's fine.
Right.
That's fine.
All right. So, I mean, it's make the most of it time.
Okay. She just said make the most of it time.
Okay, perfect. All right, I'll go ahead and begin then. So the last thing that I want to cover when it comes to the software component that can help you with the view as well, depending on some situations you may run in, and you may be aware of this, but there is a screen annotation component when it comes to the Mimio Studio toolbar. The screen annotation component is here, or the tool is here, and this is going to allow you to write over anything that is on your screen. Zoom also has this feature, but I just want to make sure you're aware of this as well, because I know when we had our meeting yesterday, I remember Joseph was having some issues with the screen annotation tool, so I just want to kind of cover that briefly. So basically, if I can go there's really no need to use this per se inside of Mimio Studio Notebook, because you can use your pen tool like normal. But anytime I go outside, for instance, if I go back to my desktop, or if I just go to the screen right here, that's up. Let me get rid of these. If I just go back to my desktop, and I'm here, if I were to go to the screen annotation tool and select it, there'll be a green outline that forms around the screen, and it kind of takes the screenshot of it. From there, now I can go to my pen tool and I can write and annotate as well over anything. So this could be a website, it could be over your view. If you're having some issues with writing, using your annotation tools with the view. So just wanted to briefly just show you that. Are there any questions about that before I move on? Well, I guess one thing I need to say before I move on is, once you're annotating, you still can use all of these tools as well. So if I want to do a text box, I can do text. I can actually zoom in as well and zoom out as well. So that's maybe something you want to play with. The key thing is, though, since this is kind of frozen here, you want to make sure that when you're done with annotating, you press the button right beside where you started. So if your mouse, if you started your annotation here, the mouse is right beside it, and it will stop the annotation. Okay, so there's one thing I just want to make sure we understand how to do. So are there any questions about annotation at all? Yes.
If you then do your annotations and you wanted to save it, could you screenshot while it was still in that annotation green outline?
So one thing you can do, and I'll show you real quick, and hopefully it works. It works when you know how technology can be at times. So if I go to the Mimio Studio gallery, right here it says gallery browser, they should automatically save. So if you notice, once it opens, and hopefully it doesn't take a long time to open, but they automatically save where it says screen annotations, and it did open. So if I click on screen annotations and I click on this drop down, I just did one today. Is timestamp. So this is the one I just completed, and it should, let's see, give it a second. There it goes. So it automatically, once you end it, it automatically saves there. So one thing I do want to note here is you want to make sure that you delete these, because it may slow down your computer. If you have a lot of them, there's there, you know. So to delete them, you would just simply just right click over it and just go to delete. Yes, and now it's deleted from that area. I just want to show you that. So it's already saved for you, and you still should be able to make sure you still should be able to interact with it as well. So I can go back to that screen annotation and take away that ink that I just put there. Okay. Does that answer your question? Perfect. All right. So let's let's talk about the next thing that I want to address when it comes to asynchronous lessons with MimioView. And it's really going to hone in on this recorder feature. This is where the power is, it's the recorder feature. So let's say if I were to launch my view, and I'm going to launch it here by pressing the view launch button. And I'm going to try to make that as clear as I possibly can. I'll briefly just kind of, do some things to make it a better image for you to see. So if you notice, I just hit the auto tune, which is on the camera, or I can go here at the bottom and auto tune just to kind of review those things we talked about. I have the option of also, I just lost my thought, but I have the option of also zooming in here as well. So now I actually can see the paper, and it's a better view of it, and I can scroll up and down on that paper that I have underneath here. So this is kind of like the base of your instructional videos, or your, again, asynchronous lessons. So if I have that image, that paper I want to write with, this is the easiest way to kind of do it. So let's say I have it here, it's ready, I'm ready to write. All I want to do is select the record button, which is located here. Again, first, I just got the best image that I possibly could. I press the record button. Sorry. I press the record button, and you'll see now it says the Mimio Studio recorder is up. And from here, all I need to do is select record, and it will start recording. So when I press this button for it to start recording, it automatically defaults to record desktop. All right. So that means anything that I see, it's gonna record. So if I press that option, it's going to go away. It's recording. And are you able to see the red outline that's formed around the screen? Perfect. All right. So one way you can do this is very simple. Is, hey, I'm doing my math problems. I'm here. I'm talking to my class. I'm saying, okay, 3 plus 3 equals question mark. I'm just keeping it simple. I mean, you can make it as complex as you need to. 3 plus, and I admit someone. I'm just doing 3 plus 3 equals with a question mark. And then I have the option of, instead of having to move my camera, I can go to the right and scroll down, okay? I don't have to actually move the paper. I can just scroll down on the right to wherever I want to go. And then, of course, below that, 3 plus 3 is 6. So I can have that option of doing that. 3 plus 3 is 6, okay? I should have got it wrong. I should have said 9. Because when I talk so much, sometimes I do make mistakes like that, but so 3 plus 3 is 6. So I have the option again of scrolling here, and my paper is my view, and it's being recorded, right? Because I've already started my recording, okay, underneath my MimioView. All right, from there, I just press the record button a second time. And what's gonna happen is it's gonna say, hey, you paused it. Okay, so this is gonna pause the recording. Let's say from here, I wanna continue the recording from where it left off. I'll just hit the record button again, and it will start directly from where it left off. If I am satisfied with my recording, I'm done, and I wanna check to make sure that it's a good recording. From here, I'll just either press stop, or I'll just say, hey, I wanna play this. And I'm just gonna hit play. And it says, do you wish to stop and play the current recording? I'm gonna say yes, and it's gonna play it. So I'm not sure if y'all can hear me play the recording right now. So can you nod if you can hear my voice in the recording or not? Okay, so could you hear my voice in the video? Okay, so there's a way you can do that in Zoom. Since I'm doing it through Zoom, there is a way that if you want to have this as part of your, like say if you had a warm up, you want to show them a video that you've already, I guess, pre-recorded. You can do that in Zoom to where it plays the sound from a video. So I can try to demonstrate that towards the end as well. So please remind me if I don't get to it. So if I forget to get to that, okay. So with that being said, I just want to show you that the other option you have. So from here, if I don't want to save this, I don't have to save it. But if I want to save it, I would go File, Save like I normally do. So maybe I would save it to my desktop or my documents, and then or my OneDrive or my Google Drive, depending upon how everything's set up. Okay. So if I don't want to save it, I can just exit out and do you wish to save the current video and just say no, okay? Another way, and I just wanna make sure it works because I'm gonna try it here for you. Another way is say, hey, I have this paper here and I'm at my panel. I don't wanna be where my view is located. I wanna be at the panel. So now if I'm at the panel, I have my tools up. Again, the tools were brought up here. I can go directly to the toolbar, to the pen tool, and select that. And again, I'm using my touch pad, so it may not be as clear, but of course you will be writing like you write on the panel anyway. And I can do the same thing, 3 + 3 = question mark, okay? And this is me doing the most difficult way of writing, to be honest with you, because I don't have a mouse anyway, also. So, and then from there, I can say, oh, okay, that is 6. So then from here, I just want to see that when I do this, and I'll start the recording again. So I'm going here to the record button. It's going to pop up. Again, I'm going to just hit record. It automatically records. And then 3 + 3 = question mark. And I'll just do 6 again, exactly like I just did. All right. So I'm basically writing on top of the paper. And then again, from here, when I'm ready to finish, I just press the record button again, or at the bottom, it'll let me press it here as well. It's automatically gonna pause it. If I wanna continue, I'll just hit this again. If I wanna play it, I just hit play and select yes. And the video should show, and you should see my writing as well.
Can I ask you a question about that?
Yes, you can.
In the spring, we had to create videos and we would post them on Seesaw. And
Yes.
I like to have I used Screencastify at that time because we were working at home. Does this record the whole screen or just what is on the MimioView?
So you can do both. Since we're focusing on the MimioView in this training, I just want to show the MimioView, but this can be done with the whole screen as well. And it's actually the same exact steps. It's the same exact steps. It's just you would go to the recorder, which is here. So if I go here on the toolbar, you see the little applications tool with a brush and a pencil are crossing, and the recorder is here.
Okay,
So,
perfect.
all right. So you can do that as well. So that allows you to actually write on the paper, or let me actually save this for later. So I will I did already exit.
And this is something we could do if students weren't able to make a lesson and then, or to be at the lesson, and then we can send it off to them later.
Exactly, that's correct. Yes, but also I want you to know you do have more options because you do have more options. This is more I'm thinking for like maybe physical things that you don't have a digital copy of, because of course in Zoom you can record as well and send the video. So you have different options. But when it comes to you actually writing and using things that are not digitized, this is the way you want to go. So it's just really on preference of what you want to do. For those people who are not as tech savvy, I believe with writing on the paper, not, maybe not actually doing this part of it, it's kind of like back to the grassroots, of teaching. So with that being said, let me do a recording here. Same thing again when it comes to maybe possibly, again, that book I have here. If I have a book here, and let's say I want to read a book to the kids, I can also record that. So I will be able to go to my record button with my book underneath my MimioView document camera, select record. And I may already have it up. There we go. So I don't want to save this one. There we go. So I do record. That menu option should pop up. And then I would go ahead and select record. Or let me give an opportunity to talk about this as well, the next option I have. So when I do the drop-down menu, I have the option to record an area. So if I select record an area, you'll notice that my screen will gray out. Once it grays out, I can, select an area of the screen that I want to focus in on. So let's say I just want to focus in on this area right here. Once I let go, you'll see now that red outline is only around that area. So it's only recording things that are happening inside of this space and not outside of this space. Okay, so it's capturing my voice, it's capturing the actual book, and as I read, if I want to get, I guess fancy with it, or if I'm probably not gonna want to underline and highlight inside the book, or you may want to, I can always use my highlighter tool here to kind of highlight keywords as I'm reading, things of that nature, as I'm reading the book. Okay, so I can do that. And then I'm also able to, I want to flip the page and go to my my next page and things of that. I probably want to get rid of the ink first before I do that, but it's still going to be recorded. So now everything's being recorded only in this area, okay? And with that being said, pause can come in here as well. So say if I want to pause it at the bottom again, and now I can move the book away, and I'm focusing on maybe this page from the book. And now I don't have to worry about the image. Okay, so now I will be able to still go here, and I would still be able to annotate over it as well. Okay, so when I'm finished with that, I would just go back to the recording. I will select stop recording, and I can play it. I'm actually going to save this one so I can play it with the sound later. And you're seeing my screen as I'm playing the video, correct? Okay, I just want to make sure. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is from here, yes. You can unmute.
When you're recording,
Yes.
is it like, say if a student was talking, would it record their voice as well? Like if they jumped in with a question or something?
If you're recording from the view, let me see. So you're in Zoom. You're recording from the view. It shouldn't know. But if you wanted it to, then you would want to do it from the Zoom feature, because then it's going to capture everything that's in that call. Okay, that's a good question. So let me just go ahead and save this. So I'll just go File, Save. Once I save it, I'll just pick a location. I'll just pick my desktop, and I'll just say MimioView video. All right. So now that's saved. It'll allow me to exit out of this window. All right, so are there any questions around what I just did, or any questions when it comes to recording your videos? Anybody? Yes. Is your hand up, or are you messing with the screen? Okay. Are there any questions?
Could you show us one more time how to do just a part of the screen? There was a drop-down menu, but I forgot where that was.
Okay, yes. So if I want to do part of the screen, move this out of my way first. If I want to do a part of the screen, I'll go back to the view. And if I go to the record button, once it pops up, I'll just click the drop down here and do record area. And once I do that, it's going to gray it out. And now I'll be able to highlight the area of the screen that I want to record.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So with that being said, just very briefly, real quickly, are there any ideas? I mean, I kind of mentioned some of them of how you could utilize your MimioView for this asynchronous or asynchronous lessons when it comes to instructional videos. If you have any ideas of what type of content would you use? Yes, I've talked about using books. I've talked about, using paper, as in writing on paper or writing over the paper with your tools. What are some ways you can do it, or some other materials you could use to help you in your classroom or with your lessons? Any other things that you think you could use in your classroom? One thing I was thinking,
demonstrating proofreading for like a piece of paper that has obvious mistakes on it, but you're writing in how they should be correcting that paper.
Correct. Good. That's awesome. Yes, because you have student work. You have student work there, and that's actually is a great point, because let's say students are submitting things and you want to kind of give them some feedback. Let's pretend. So trying to help you kind of see this visually. So let's say, for instance, I'll pause this. Let's say this is student work. We're pretending this is student work. All right, and I want to show that this is a great example of something. I guess now in the digital age, I guess they're sending you copies. So I guess technically you may have a digital copy of it. So let's say you don't have a digital copy of it. All right. Say it was an essay that they wrote, you don't have a digital copy of it. So I could put that underneath my view, and then from there I could, potentially correct it for my students, or I could digitize it. So I could, like I said earlier, we could go to either the screen clipping tool, which is here on the toolbar, or we could go right here at the bottom of the MimioView window and select this option. It's going to gray the screen out. And this is my student work that I'm clipping, right? And I've made a copy of it. So now when I open up my Mimio Studio notebook, or potentially Google Doc or Word Doc, and right click or Control V, now I have that image that I just digitized that I can use from the resource that I did not have a digital copy of. Does that make sense?
If you did have digital copies with Seesaw, could you just use the Mimio tools on the side, do a screenshot of like their work, and then put it in the notebook and then talk about it during a live lesson?
Exactly. Yes, you can. Exactly. So that there's multiple ways to do it. And that's why I wanted to kind of highlight that through the software, because with the software, it allows you to do a lot of that. If you don't have an electronic copy of it, if they do have an electronic copy of it, like you said, through Seesaw, you can screen clip it because you can get it on your screen, and now it's in your notebook. So there are many ways that you can do that. Any other ideas around things or ways you can use your MimioView? And you can unmute if you have one. If not, that's fine.
Maybe maps and social studies.
That's good. Great, great. Maps and social studies. Maybe because some apps are printed that you can't even get a digital copy of. So putting that underneath the view, and then you can do your own annotations or choose to do a digital annotation. So that's great. That's a good idea.
Or if you're trying to highlight like a road or the rivers or the mountain ranges on it.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Another thing I thought about as well is when it comes to like building things, like say for instance, you need to build or show a model of something, or for instance with math, I know we used to do three-dimensional figures. So we talked about nets and how, a net forms to give you a three-dimensional figure, and just trying to have them identify that. I mean, I'm sure there are some virtual ways to do that as well, but let's say you have them in your hand. So for demonstrations is a good thing to have, or like say maybe you're doing something with anatomy and you have some structures around your room that you want to show. So those are some different ways you can use your MimioView. Okay. Thank you. So let's move on to my next talking point, and it's going to be, let me get back to this. All right, perfect. It's going to be talking about Seesaw and a MimioView. So like one of your colleagues just alluded to, there's ways that you can potentially use Seesaw or leverage Seesaw as well. So let's say I've created a little account. I'm not that familiar with Seesaw, but I've looked at it since I know you guys utilize it. And I know there's a way. One thing I realized I was trying to do at first is see, can I bring my MimioView inside of Seesaw? And unless I miss something, there's really no way to bring your view inside of Mimio. But if I was to go to add, I guess, post student work, and I were to go to, like if I go video, you'll notice it's automatically going to, go to my webcam, I believe. Let's see. And if it doesn't, it's fine. Let's see, please click allow to enable. I'm not, maybe it's right there behind it. Maybe I need to scroll down. I don't even see where it says that, but so it will default to my webcam. It won't go to the MimioView. But once you have something saved, of course, you can go here and you can just upload it. So now that I have it saved, I can select it from my computer. And then like I just did the example that I saved to my desktop, click on it, and then I want to add that video. Let's see. And we see, did add it. Let me zoom Oh, maybe I'm zoomed too far in. Maybe it's the window that I'm, so yeah, that's weird. There we go. So I guess I need to, so let me go back. Maybe that was, it's a user error. And zoom in some more so you can actually see what I just did. If it works, like the second time around. So select from your computer. And I went here. Then it says select or drop file. That came up. And then I go back here, double click, and now that video is being added there, and I can hit add video. So now that video is there, it's preparing that video. And then from there, if I wanted to add anything from the Seesaw platform to it to edit that video before I post it, I should have the ability to do that. Are there any questions about how this is done on the Seesaw platform?
I was kind of curious because I don't know if you'll be able to answer this, but I was asking because we are supposed to record our lessons, and I like the idea of using the actual MimioView to record it rather than Zoom, so students aren't in there. But there is a file size limit on Seesaw, so would we? I'm assuming we would then upload that video into like Vimeo or something, and then post a link here.
Yes, you can do that as well. Yeah, so you can. Yeah, so.
Because yours was a small clip and it's taken a long time. So I can imagine a 10-minute lesson would be, we would be here a while.
I agree. So yeah, the link would be the best option then. Save it to your cloud storage and get a link for the video from your cloud storage and then just do it that way. That'll be the best bet.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you for that. Because I haven't tried uploading one. I didn't realize that because like I said, I rarely use, or this is actually my first time using Seesaw, so that could be the reason why. Thank you for that. Yeah, because it is taking a while.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out the best way to upload our videos because they want us to share our recordings for students that aren't there. But
yes.
I guess.
Yes, so link would be the best way. So you would just go here to link, and then once you get that link from, like, let's say if you save it to your Google Drive and get that link, you would just put it there, I guess. So, okay, that makes sense. Any questions? All right, so this was the part where I was going to ask you to potentially try to create a intro for your students, like maybe like, you know how in the beginning of the year as a teacher, you always want to introduce yourself to the students, kind of similar to like a meet and greet, you know, just letting them know things about you so that y'all can kind of build a relationship. I was going to ask you to try to create an instructional video or a meet and greet video that was very brief with your MimioView or just the properties of your Mimio Studio software, either or, because I know some of you don't have the view with you right now. But I realize that a lot of us are absent from the meeting due to the conflict, and it's very close to time as well. So what I want to do is just make sure that if there's any questions on anything that I've went over today, please ask them before we, I guess, leave the meeting today. If there are any questions, anything you want to see me do over, or yes?
I would love to figure out how to play a video through Zoom that my students could hear.
Oh, okay, yes. I'm sorry. Let's do that. Let's do that. I did say I was going to go back there. Thank you for reminding me, because I did say I was going to try to see the best method for that. So if I go to Zoom, exit out of this, stop sharing. All right. So I know there's a setting. My question is, can I do it from here first? So I may, let me go to sound.
I think you have to share screen and then play it from there. I don't know if it would be different than.
I think I don't believe you will be able to hear. Let's try it, Doc. I think that's what I was just doing. So if I go share my screen, let me look to see if there's anything here right now. Let's see advanced. Okay, here it goes. I know what to do. All right. So when you go to share your screen, let's try it out. See if I really know. I guess I really know. When you go to the bottom where you see it says share screen, if you click on the arrow right beside it, and then it should give you some options. It says one participant can share at a time, and it says multiple participants can share at a time, because you can't see me doing this. But advanced setting options is where you want to go. Okay. Once you go there, actually, no, I'm sorry. Go to screen share, not the actual caret. Go to screen share, and up top you see where it says basic, advanced, or files. Are you seeing that on your end? If you're trying it,
Yes.
okay. Go to advanced, and let's try it. So if I do music or computer sound only, and hit share and say share, now I'm going to go back and try to play the video. Okay, let's see if I go to the video. Here, the video is there. Nope. You'll see now that red outline is only around that area. So it's only recording things that are happening inside of this space and not. So my question is, can you hear my voice now or not?
We can hear your voice.
Did you hear the video?
No, I couldn't even see the video.
Okay, let me see.
I could hear the video, I couldn't see it.
Okay, let's try this again. Let's say, okay. So share screen. You'll see now that red outline is only around that area. So it's only recording things that are happening inside of this space and not outside of this space. Okay, so it's capturing my voice, it's capturing. How about that time? You still can't see the video?
Still can't see, but we could hear it.
Okay, so let me see. There's another
I think
option.
you have to share your screen to do it. I don't know
Well,
if you can do
I did. So, okay, maybe let's do this then. All right, so I'll go. Screen share. And then from here, I'll go back to the desktop. The video is right here. So you see the video.
Oh, we can't hear it.
But you can't hear it. So how about if I go here now and say, let me see.
Marcus?
Did that work?
No, we still can't hear you.
Okay. So you still couldn't hear the video? Oh,
No.
okay. Wow. I think someone called my name before I did that.
Marcus, can you hear me?
Yes.
When you have on your screen share, the toolbar on the very top, try clicking the three dots and then share computer sound and then play the video again.
So it's capturing my voice. It's capturing the actual uh, book. And as I read, if I want to get... Oops, sorry. Could you hear me then? Could you hear it then?
Yeah, we could hear it and see it.
Perfect, perfect. See, look, I told you I would learn something today, right? So I learned something myself. Great, thank you for that. So you want to repeat, or can you repeat those steps then, just since you since you figured it out for everybody else? So that means also they know you are the go-to. So go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, what was your question?
I'll say, could you repeat that for the group since you figured it out?
Oh, so when you have your, if you want to play a video on your screen for them to see the video and the screen, do your screen share, play the video on your monitor, and then on the toolbar on the top that pops up when you're sharing your screen, on the right side, there's three dots to open the secret menu. Click share computer sound, and then they'll be able to hear whatever your computer is playing.
Great, great. Thank you. All right. So if there's not, are there any other questions? I know we just had one question about that. I'm glad we figured that out for you. Is my mic on? Just give me a nod just to make sure my, okay, perfect. Any other questions? Are we good to go? Okay. My last slide is basically just saying, hey, thank you for your time. I appreciate you being attentive, and thank you for your time and consideration. I just wanted to, well, I guess I kind of messed it up because I didn't, that's there, but but I enjoy my time with you, so I appreciate your attention. And if there's anything I can do to help you, my email address is this on this front slide. Let me get back to that real quick. Just email me and I will reach out and I'll respond and try to answer your question to the best of my knowledge. I know y'all are up against a challenge this year when it comes to the current situation, so I want to be here for you as much as I possibly can, and I'll just make sure you can see that. But if no one has anything else to ask, then enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you again.
Thank you so much.
You're
Super
welcome.
helpful.
Great, great. I'm glad.
Thanks, Marcus.
You're welcome.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.